Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Critical Hitz Podcast. My name is Pokey Scout.
I'm Gentlelite Gaming. And this
is Critical Hitz! Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so very much for being here. We do have a special guest star for today's episode. 2,500 followers on Instagram, 3,000 followers on YouTube. A guy that got pretty YouTube famous, not for Pokemon, but for a couple of other very interesting pieces of his life. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tidal Zone. What's going on, buddy? How is your day today?
Dude, so good. So happy to be here. Really excited to be on the podcast. Watch all the episodes, so I'm excited to finally be on and talk Pokemon with you guys today.
Dude, we're excited to have you on, man. We've got a couple of questions for you. First and foremost, man, introduce yourself to the people. Give us a little bit of your background, right? What got you into the hobby? What do you enjoy most about the Pokemon community? So on and so forth. Give us a small little bits here.
For sure. So my name is Blaine. I'm a huge fan of Pokemon. I've been a huge fan of Pokemon ever since Red, Blue, and Yellow came out. I can remember it still, playing on my Game Boy, playing Blue version, and just going nonstop till the battery basically ran out, right? I love Pokemon. I've been collecting it since I was a little kid. I always tell the younger kids that I end up connecting with, I'll talk about that here sooner or later. But the way I used to get packs was I had to go to Costco with my mom, and then she would take me to the local game store, and she'd buy me, one base set booster pack. And that was back when it was base set booster packs.
$3, baby.
Man, that's crazy, right? That's something I would definitely give shout out to the Pokemon company for doing, is the fact the pack price really has not changed that astronomically more since the huge blow up of Pokemon. So kind of shout out, I know, crazy, right? So shout out to them. Kind of a background of myself. Used to live in Seattle for a long time. Up in your neck of the woods. I know, so funny. So I was in Seattle for almost 10 years. I was doing marine construction for a really long time. I was working for a diving company. Sooner or later, it was a salvage company, Global Diving and Salvage. Basically was a pirate. I would chase after sunken boats, and it was a lot of fun, chasing hurricanes, all these different things. So
he's One Piece. It's real.
Bro,
it's real. It's real for sure. It's so
Tidal found it, and now he came to Pokemon.
Right, and well, I've always been in it, right? I've always played.
True.
I've played every single game. I think like a lot of people, I'd collected for a really long time, the TCG specifically, collected for a really long time, kind of fell out for a little period of my time, but I was always still playing. I remember still being on like tugboats, steaming out to ships, and I'd have my laptop on an emulator playing, Fire Red or Leaf Green, playing the game nonstop. I've always loved it. Huge Nuzlocke fan. I love to Nuzlocke games. I think creating a challenge in these games is a lot of fun, because they're made for kids, right? And there's a way to really amp up the challenge for Pokemon, and it really makes you think, and so really had a lot of fun with that. And then me and my wife, we had our first kid, so we moved back to California, worked for a fisheries commission, and during that period, I had started a random YouTube channel for reef keeping. I love saltwater fish tanks, and so over the course of time, I was ready to get out of California. I'm sure a lot of people love the state, but it was somewhere I couldn't be. And it was time. And so I also needed to get out of the field. With my daughter and my wife and, family in general, I had to refocus a lot and kind of get a new career path. And so social media has blown up. It's one of those things, like my dad was a coal miner. I worked in diving. I come from a very blue collar family. So the idea and concept of social media was crazy. Like, it was unheard of to get paid to make videos and photos and all these quirky, goofy things. And so had that little YouTube running for saltwater tanks, kind of blew up, had a couple companies reach out to me. And then recently, 3 years ago, moved to Florida to work for one of the biggest aquaculture facilities in the country. I'm the face of the company. I do their YouTube channel and social media. And so that's kind of background of where I'm at now. And then because of the saltwater YouTube that I had as a passion project being now my full-fledged career, I thought, what about starting a Pokemon channel, right? Why have I not?
You're already doing it.
I'm already doing it, and it's funny, right? Because you look at the hobbies that we have, right? And so saltwater fish keeping, it's such a niche hobby. It's so small. and I had success with it in that social media field. And I thought, man, like Pokemon's huge. It's obviously the biggest IP, like, but it is gigantic. Like, why can't I have success over in this side of the world? And it was a new passion project for me. I love having projects and like new challenges and things like that. So that's how we've started the Tidal Zone. So saltwater. So the channel started and the page started back in June of this past year. So 2025 of June was when the channel and the page kind of really kicked off. And so at this point, we've been doing daily posting on the Instagram every single day. We're over 270 or so days in a row that we've posted daily. And then, and then for the YouTube, every single week, every Saturday night, full-length YouTube video. I do a lot of buyer POV, and now I've transitioned into vending because we all have a collection that we don't really look at anymore. So I thought, why not try to make the hobby pay for itself, right? Our hobbies are expensive. Let's try and have it pay for itself. Oh my gosh, yes. Even more so now.
The name makes so much sense now. Tidal Zone, but I feel like you missed the pirate inclusion. You totally should have leaned into this a little bit more, man.
He might be confused for One Piece, though. I think he's fine.
This is true.
But hey, you could have meshed them together, right? That's what they're doing right now. Anyway, half these Pokemon vendors are One Piece vendors now.
I actually, this last week, I told one of the other vendors that I've gotten really close with, I said, I can't wait for all these vendors to come up to me and they're offloading all their Pokemon because they're transitioning into One Piece. And I had probably 4 or 5 guys come up to me with like a bunch of really good singles. And it was I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'll take all this in. Like, and for me, vending is interesting because it's turned into a floating PC is what I call it. It's not like I don't really, I have 2 personal collections at this point. I have, my personal collection behind me. I have a bunch of binders of stuff, but I also have my case.
Inventory.
Yeah.
I have my case, and I think it's easier to sell if you like something, obviously, right? So like you have a reason to kind of talk about it, why I have it and why it's in my case. And so, yeah, it's like my floating PC. There's items that I really like. Like I have a Fates Collide full art Umbreon. That one is insanely good. Like love that art so much. But if it goes, it's okay. Like it's not too big of a deal. But I would love to see, have it. But if it goes, like I'm happy with it going.
That is one of the coolest things about being a vendor, though, is having that PC that continuously rotates, right? Because one of the coolest things that I've enjoyed is starting out, like outlining what I started vending with was like some stuff that I just needed to be in the cases as eye catchers, right? Like I've got a Heart Gold Soul Silver booster box. I've got a Aquapolis Lugia and a PSA 9 and all kinds of other things that I was like, what? If they sell, they sell. If they don't, they don't. But then it started bringing enough people over that the stuff I was willing to get rid of, it started moving and moving and moving. And I was picking up cards that I just hadn't had before, like a PSA 10 Rayquaza VMAX alternate art from Evolving Skies, right? I'm like, I'm never going to buy this card. Well, vending allowed me to do that and allowed me to grow the collection. And it was really starting to pay for itself. And it's just so cool to look back on that now and just think, this is why I love to do this, is because not that I'm making money, but I am growing my collection and the hobby is essentially paying for itself.
Right. And I think Jarchomp and Oyama with their midweek with champs, they had a really awesome episode recently where they talked about is like with the Bulbasaur is like vending the ultimate hack for your personal collection. For me,
I saw that video.
And some of them were like yes and no, kind of. For me, I'm like, yes, like it is such the ultimate hack. I mean, in a way, right? Because it's, it is that interesting game where you are taking in something, so you have to get a percentage for it. You try to be as fair as possible, but you are taking things in, even if it's stuff like I've been going crazy over the old school reverse stamps, right? Haul on Phantoms, EX Delta Species, that whole series. I really want to try and chase more of the reverses, right?
Dude, but mid-era is so good.
Bro.
It's so good. Like, I have a sickness. I have a sickness with those gold stars. I'm so sad that they got popularity, and honestly, I think they still might be underrated. I can't even believe 100%. I'm saying that.
I think, like, the graded ones, obviously, I think, grading, we could get into that whole thing later, right? But, I think a lot of the raw ones right now, like, and some of the shinings too, still, like, I picked up, like, a shining PSA 8 carp, and it was, like, super fairly priced, and it's just, that, modern's great. Don't get me wrong. I think the art is something I really enjoy. I love art. I've got art all over my house. I collect art too.
Yep.
Another collecting thing that I do. I love art. The art is one of the main reasons I love the TCG. I played it when I was younger. I still kind of dabble with it, but I love the art. That's what it's all about for me. But something about that half panel and that yellow border that just gets me all excited.
I've been saying, man, we literally had a conversation about like I like the window. I like the window pane.
Yes, for sure.
I don't know what it is, but you guys kind of gave me an idea. Now I want to do a content piece that's like I don't know what I would call it, but I'd go around to each vendor and I'd be like, which card would just kill you if you sold it? And then buy it from them.
You jackass!
Just go down the line. Like, hey, what's your pride and joy? Oh, okay, yeah, I'll take it.
Problem is, a lot of those are going to be expensive.
Yes, if I could dislike a video, bro, I would be your dislike troll. Every video you post, no matter if it's the same one, negative.
If I was just stupid rich, that's what I would do. I would walk in. I wouldn't even argue with the price. I'd be like, "What is your favorite card? What would rip your heart out?" Yeah, and it's
matter of fact, I'll tip him 10%.
This, right? He's like, "Oh, it's this card," and I was like, "Okay, and it has a sticker on there." Like, "Okay, I'll take it for that." And then you put him in that weird spot of like, "Oh shit, do I want to sell it for that?"
Bro,
And it's funny, right? Because there's like some, and I think as we know, being adults at this point, is that there's some things in our PC that like if we needed money, we could move it and we could get into some monetary value. Like for a while, I was really we're getting ready to buy our first home, and so I've been trying to get rid of some things here and there. Buying a house, and at this point it's like impossible for us. It was so easy back in the day. My dad's like, "Why aren't you putting 25% down?" I'm like, "That's not how it works anymore." If I had 25% down, if I had to put down, I would have already done it. But like I have an unbroken bonds box, Jenna. Like we've kind of talked about this as well.
I almost bought that from him.
Why didn't you buy it?
I never ended up trading it. Oh my gosh, I bought it.
I buy it?
So I was gonna trade it. Actually, so it's still kind of but again, I was going to trade it, but I've had these like buyer remorse, right? Like I don't know if I want, or seller's remorse, really. I don't know if I want to get rid of it because it's a Unified Minds and an unbroken box, and the way I look at those, expensive. Super pricey now. And I think Sun and Moon is one of those sets that is out of the realm of the Sword and Shield that still is fluctuating a little bit, going down, going up. I think Sun and Moon has hit their dip, and I think they are bound to just kind of skyrocket again.
What do you want for them?
I think, and it's funny because the Unbroken one is like so clean. It's so good.
It is. It's really, that's why I was, how I am with my sealed collection scout. Like it's got to be crispy. It looks really good.
Like for a while, I've just been asking pretty much, it was like $5,000 for the two. And if I could move them together, great. And I'm pretty much asking like top comps, basically. Because I've had so many people.
Which
that's
is
the other
fair.
Right. And the other interesting thing with vending is all of these big players that are in the game now, right? And you see them in every CollectCon video. You see them at every big show, and they're walking around with their Zion case, and then they throw you some obscene number.
Dude,
and
they're crazy.
Yep. And I'm like, I'm like, no. Like, and there's so many people that will not say no. They're just so willing to like take the hit and just sell it to get the cash to move stuff. And I get that, having cash flow is great in the vending scene, but like for me, I'm like, no, dude, like I bought these years ago for nothing, like a couple $100
item,
each.
though. Like I think you're right. Like if you're talking about a minty Unified Mind box, like there are certain items that are just highly liquid. Like we talk about liquidity on this all the time, and it's like if it's a highly liquid item, I'm not going to negotiate.
Yeah.
You were talking about the item that we know we have some value in it. We're way up, and yet it still has some sentimental value. For me, it's my Lovebirds, right? I bought my PSA 10 Lovebirds with Scout at Chicago CollectCon.
Oh my God.
Right?
For $2,350.
Yeah, I made a video on it.
I will never forget this. Blaine, because I was, when we were in Chicago, I'm like, I'm there by the grace of God, and I'm running on smoke. I'm nickel and diming Genelac because I'm like, hey buddy,
I'll take another trainer gallery.
Yeah, I'm like, can we split a hotel room? And he's like, yeah, dog, I got you. Don't worry about it. And I was like, dude, I appreciate it. And then he's like, I got one goal. I want to buy a PSA 10 Lovebirds. It's like, okay. He goes and negotiates this card, and then lo and behold, we look at it 3 months later after it's just blown up.
It was like,
and it's like, it was like 8K. Yeah. After 3 months, I was so pissed. I was like, this guy. He was so smart for doing that.
If you bought anything, though, really, think about it in TCG in general. If you bought anything at the beginning of 2025, you were up so big, or even in the middle of 2025, like you were up so big. It's crazy. I mean, it's nuts.
Well,
the market is
that.
Insane.
Or Genelac, what was the one box in your mind from Chicago that you were like, holy crap, I like. Realistically, I should have bought this box knowing the price now. You remember when we were at, shout out to Tyler and Jack and Flockus with the Loose Packs Company.
Oh, are you talking about Legendary Collection?
Legendary Collection. That box sold in person for $57,000 cash. Yeah. That box now goes for about $125,000 to $135,000. And a year later, dude, doubled in price. Yes.
I'm not there yet though, Scout. Like,
yeah, I get that for sure.
50 grand. Like, and that's the thing is like, so to your point, Tidal, about like, so with the Lovebirds, I will never negotiate on my Lovebirds.
Right.
It's not going to happen. It's literally like, it's the top chase of one of the best eras. Alex Ketchum is still hunting it. Shout out Alex, right? Like,
poor man.
Why would I'm not going to negotiate on something like that. Right. So I mean, and honestly, what I really regretted not buying at the Chicago Collecticon is that the same vendor, he had a black label Lovebirds as well.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And he wanted $15K for it. And I think that if I would have come home and spent 15 grand, I'm not sure I would still be married or alive.
Yeah.
So that was like a personal health decision, less so than a financial one.
Until it privately sold for $40K.
Yeah, I know. I have a good eye for these things, is what I'm learning.
Yeah, for sure.
But so what I will say, I have an agree or disagree, Scout, and I want to play it with Tidal.
Send it.
Agree or disagree? The Pokemon Company needs to introduce a Nuzlocke mode after you beat the first run through of a Pokemon game.
3, 2, 1. Agree. Yeah, unanimous. Absolutely.
So much.
What do they have to lose? Why has this not happened yet?
Well, I mean, it's between that and then save files in difficulty modes, right?
Yeah.
Like, difficulty modes don't need to be based around what starter you pick. Right.
Or with with the newest game, I think they really missed a chance with it being more so open world, is that you have the leveling per each gym. And then you would, of course, it gets a little wishy-washy, right? Because you have to then, every single team has to change per each level.
But they showed that they can do it with the hyper zones. That's the problem.
They can do it.
Yep. That's aggravating.
We know it's possible.
Mm-hmm. They don't want to make this transition for whatever reason, and it's driving everybody crazy, but it's still driving enough demand for the games that they don't have to do it.
And
I'm still going to buy it.
You're still going to buy all the DLCs that come out. Let's be real.
Is anybody skipping Gen 10? Is anybody skipping Gen 10?
No, not with any of the leaks I've seen. No way.
No.
It's like one of my favorite regions in the world, and if they're supposedly doing it around that.
Yeah. We're gonna camp for it. We're gonna storm GameStop's all of their I
was like, what GameStop's?
I was gonna say,
wait a second, GameStop is closing.
Because shout out to all of you guys and everybody listening that let those freaking boxes sit. I'm so proud of the Pokemon community. I told Scout, I did the math. That was like a $10 million miss, and that's a lot of money.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're just gonna live off power packs. That's it.
Hey, Genelac was talking about this and saying that, Pokemon Company would make a ton of money if they could just stop printing packs, right? And they could do everything virtually. GameStop essentially only needs to have their top 50 locations across the United States to generate them the most amount of money while focusing on their power packs and reselling and buying via eBay.
I think that's true. I just with the cutting out of the physical card game, obviously I would be extremely upset.
It can't
right?
happen.
Like
It won't happen.
But it just can't. Yeah, it just can't. It's like
not in our lifetime.
No, exactly.
No.
Not in our lifetime. No.
Yeah, but the really cool thing about Gen 10, and this is what I was talking to my wife about, is I'm gonna have to buy 3 copies because I only have a couple of sealed video games. Right, one being Halo 3, and the other one being Soul Silver. I don't think I can realistically get Gen 10 and not have a CIB copy.
Yeah.
I don't keep them sealed, man. I don't keep I have every game I've ever played, and I'm gonna start displaying them from Pokemon Yellow all the way up to PLZA. And I have all of my, which by the way, real talk, shout out to the Game Boy Advanced SP for the greatest battery life of all time. I left that thing for 15 years, and I turned it on, and it was still green. That makes no sense.
You still have the charger for it, yeah?
Yeah, I still have but I didn't need it. I swear to God, I picked it up. I was like, I've not turned this on in 10, 15 years. Let's rip it. And it came on, and it wasn't even the orange red light. It was a green light still. And I played it for like 2 hours. I was like, how? This needs to be studied. Like whatever battery is in this needs to be shipped to NASA so that we can start studying this. Like, this is wild to me. How's that even possible?
I don't know, but I know that it is one of the greatest handheld consoles of all time, especially when you transition to not needing
with the backlight.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I miss those days, bro. I do,
they were good.
Especially because Tidal.
It's kind of hard on my hands, though.
Well, I mean, but you got massive hands. I got little hands.
These are normal hands.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, buddy. I was gonna say average. No, not anymore. No, Tidal. So I know I didn't text you this, but I just got in today the Switch 2 and Pokemon Legends ZA.
Nice.
And I have not started it. I was going to start it after we finish this podcast. So at about midnight tonight, I am going to at least pick my starter and run around for a second. But
it's a little slow.
I was just about to, I was like, plan to just go for about 2 hours of
you might be a little sleep. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is it that?
There's a lot of
that's my biggest gripe with Pokemon Legends. I think
all of them. It's been all of them.
Yeah,
really, Diamond Shining Pearl is unplayable.
I think we can all agree is that the Pokemon games, as much as they have yet to give all they can give us, development over time. For me, as a guy that used to play in a total pixel world and on blue version, which was broken, you could just have an Alakazam and sweep everybody. It did not even matter. To now, like Arceus to Legend ZA. I mean, it's like, that's why I bought a Switch 2. I was not going to get a Switch 2, but the pure fact I wanted the game to run smooth. I wanted to try it and feel, get the experience. And it's a lot of the younger generation that are complaining about the game, this and that. Dude, I had so much fun. I haven't finished the main storyline. Family, busy life, but dude, I've had a blast. It's been amazing. I love it. And Megas.
Dang it.
Megas.
I crushed through it. It was disgusting. I was like, I could stream this or I could binge this, and I chose binge.
Have you got the shiny charm yet?
Oh, brother, come on now. I got the shiny charm. I completed every side quest. This was all before the DLC came out, and
there's an easy way to get a shiny charm.
Yep, now there's an easy way, but I've completed everything. I've hit rank A in every ranked season. Like.
Jesus. Do you have the DLC?
Yeah. That I'm playing a lot slower.
How's that going right now?
I like it. I mean, I think that the level of difficulty is going to surprise people. You better come in with level 100, so you're going to get smacked.
Really?
Oh yeah, you're going to get raffle stomped. You're going to get gang beat up by a group of Mankeys. I'm just going to warn you right now. And it doesn't even matter if you have resistances, because there's about 8 Mankeys that jump you at a level 105, and it's an 8-on-1. So just be ready for it. There is a complete difference in meta shift, too, for whether you're playing the game and whether you're playing ranked. Because ranked is a lot about, like, snipe shots with, like, ice beam, hyper beam, like, kind of your long shot, like, that kind of stuff. Or physical, because it's faster. right? Flare Blitz is a heck of a lot faster than Fire Blast, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you go into the hyper dimension zones, that's all about AoE, right? Because you're clearing mass amounts. They all are kind of in little pods. So you want the Pokemon that know Earthquake. You want the Pokemon that know Draco Meteor. You want the Pokemon that know Fire Blast because it helps you clear out the whole crew. And it plays a lot more like World of Warcraft, where you can kind of aggro the whole group over and get them into a group, and then you just nuke them.
Yeah. Well, actually, so how hard is it to do the grind to level 100? And Tidal, are you playing the DLC right now?
I haven't gotten the DLC yet. No.
Okay.
I want to finish the main storyline, and then I want to roll into the DLC.
Yeah. I'm curious, Genelak, to know your thoughts, because we were talking about the older games, right, in the older series.
Yeah.
And to get a Pokemon to level 100, that was a grind. Like, that was the ultimate flex, was the level 100 Mewtwo, right? The level 100 Rayquaza, so on and so forth. So how easy is it to get your Pokemon to level 100 in Legends ZA?
I mean, I would say it's easy to get, like, how do I word this? You can get to like level 70 or 80 pretty easily just by doing the nighttime battles, right? And like you could do the standard, like you have one really strong Pokemon and then the rest of your party you're leveling type deal.
Yeah.
That can get you like 7 or 80. I would say they do give you a lot of like rare candies and then experience candies, like Candy XL, Candy Large. I would say, you could probably get a good roster just doing that. You're not going to get a full box of level 100s, but they give you enough to get like your 10 to 15 Pokemon up to level 100 without like crazy grind.
Nice. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Tidal.
It's
so
possible.
This just hit the dome real quick, buddy. We were talking about these games. We're talking about the future of Pokemon, so on and so forth. I want to know from you, what are you hoping to see out of the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, especially following the little 7-second clip of Pikachu rolling around on the ball and us getting the reveal of the 30th anniversary stamp?
I mean, it's buckle up, everybody, because it's going to be crazy this year. I think everybody thought 2025 was crazy, and I was trying to warn everyone. I was like, I think it's going to be even crazier. And I think there's some good things that come with the craziness, but I think it's going to be a lot. One thing I hope is I can find some product and I can enjoy it, right? That'd be really cool, ultimately. But for me, I think there's a couple things that I would really love to see them bring back. I've been talking with a couple people. Shout out to one of my buddies, Dude Tacular. He has the same concept that Gen 10 is based off the islands in the same kind of sense, right? So with that in mind, we got tag teams around that same idea. So I think there, in my opinion, when we were going back and forth, I came up with 50 awesome tag team combos like Ceruledge, Armarouge, Tatsugiri, Dodonzo, with all the newer mods, not even the old ones that haven't even gotten tag teams. But I think that's one of my hopes, is that we get tag teams. I also would really love to see some new gold stars make their way in. I think having I think having a couple gold stars leak into the 30th would be really cool. I love the stamps on the old reverses, right? But I think the 30th, the 25th, sometimes the stamp takes away from the card, in my opinion, ever so slightly. I'm not like a stamp, like when it comes, but I am collecting them nonstop, right? So it's kind of hard. I'm like being hypocritical, but I think, like a big fat 30th stamp kind of takes away if it's a gold star. I just think of the 25th anniversary gold star Umbreon. I'm like, it's cool, but it's not as cool as the gold star Umbreon. And so
was that because it was reprints though too?
I think
like
that's also
that's the
yes.
thing.
Yes. I think the fact that it's reprints, but I think if they like spill in a little bit of that, I think that would be epic for the TCG. Moving on to like the games, I mean, man, I hope Gen 10 comes in and it's as awesome as they can make it. Like, I think they really have an opportunity to make an awesome game. We can only hope. For me personally, it has the rumors potentially of it being near Australia-ish, the region potentially, north of Australia, some Australian fusion. If I get a platypus, I'm going to be in heaven. Like, I'll be able to die happy at that point. But I mean, I think ultimately the biggest thing with the 30th is everybody get into the roller cage, put your seatbelt on, and get ready to go, because it's gonna be interesting for sure.
Dude, I have one wish for the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, in general, and that is the announcement of an anime. And I'm talking like a Ufotable owned anime, not an Animeplex, dude. Oh my god, it's the only thing I care about. Like,
It'd be awesome.
I think like TCG, they're gonna do something super great.
Yeah.
You know, they always do, right? And I would hate if they did a reprint focused set like they did with the 25th
Mega Gold Stars.
But yes, like Mega Gold.
I think we're
Stars
getting
is a
Mega
great
Gold Stars.
idea. I
crazy.
do not think they are going to bring back Gold Stars. Actually, I think I am on record saying that I think the Pokemon Company is going to bring back Gold Stars, so I'm conflicted.
Mega Gold Stars, and give me Mega Gold Star Dragonite with the blue, and I will empty my pockets.
I don't know about that. I think
it.
I think Tidal is a little closer with them doing like maybe Mega Tag Teams. Right, because they did bring Megas back.
That would be sick.
Yeah,
it has to be Mega. It's Mega Evolution. We know they're gonna do. It's gonna have Mega, right?
It will be Mega. It will be Mega inspired. Yep. Yes, 100%.
There will be something Mega.
The problem is in the back of the Pokemon Company is probably 10 or 12 oh shit boxes, break in case of emergency boxes, right? And there are many they can do at this point, in my opinion, to re-bring the hype. Right, Gold Stars, tag teams, serialized cards, which we hope we never get because it'll be blood in the water. But there's so many. There's so many, in my opinion, that I think they have these like break in case of emergency. If anything starts to come down a little bit,
if we start to see a little dip in Q3,
or if there's any dip of like the hype, you know. But I mean, if we think about it, Pokemon's not dumb. And they just invested in a huge new facility, right? A brand new printing facility that's not going to come up and start working for many years. So they're foreseeing that this is not going to slow down anytime soon. This is going to be around. And I mean, I believe it too. Like you guys said, this isn't going anywhere. It'll be way past we'll be in the dirt and they'll still be making new mons.
I'm dying in a Pokemon coffin, baby. You're putting me down in a Master Ball, no shot about it. I mean, then I think it's interesting because we're not even talking about. I'm so hyped for Pokemon Pokopia. I am freaking. It's like 2 months away, 3 months away. This is going to be nuts, guys. If they do this right, this is gonna bring a huge a huge new fan base in, because that type of game hits the Nintendo community just the right way. People love Animal Crossing. People love Farmville, and all you're doing is putting a little bit of a Pokemon spin. And if we get cards, if we get Pikachu, right, like the ghostly Pikachu, right, and you get Mosslax, like there is they got some big hitters in there that have like. I wouldn't call them variants per se, but maybe they are. They haven't really alluded to that. If those Pokemon come to the TCG or the VGC, that would be crazy.
Oh god, yes, dude. I would love to see
a ghost type Pikachu. You're trying to tell me people wouldn't main a ghost type Pikachu in any game ever?
Yeah, I think the other thing too is you're tapping into. I think Pokemon has highly been focused in on young boys, men in general. It's a very male-dominated hobby, right? And I think
this is for the girlies, baby.
Pokopia, it's not, it's for everyone, right? Of course, but Pokopia really hits. Like my wife, she doesn't play the game. She barely wants to go to the card shows with me. But she saw the trailer for that, and she goes, "Oh, that looks kind of fun." And like that's exactly what they're doing. Like they're not. This is a very smart company, people. It's why they're the largest IP. But I think Pokopia is going to be crazy. Like I think 2026 is going to be a crazy year for the hobby in general. It's a lot of good things, but who knows? We might run into some.
So this brings me to a secondary topic here of Ascended Heroes. Did you guys see the announcement sort of about what product is going to be available upon release?
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Tidal,
I think this is
educate me. Why do I feel like what are we talking about?
I believe in my small little brain of knowledge is that this is the first set that has ever been released, specialty set as well, that does not have the ETB releasing on the release date as well. So now we have to remember we're in an age of streaming, ripping shippers. Packs are a necessity. So what's hitting the market first is a 2-pack blister and a 3-pack tech sticker collection.
Yep.
Yeah, and so that's the first products hitting the market on release.
Yeah.
And then we won't see the ETBs until Scout. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a month later or something like that, or maybe more.
We won't see.
What about the booster bundles?
Those are like April.
Dude, so they are releasing the most amount of packs you can get in a single sealed product for Ascended Heroes is 3 upon release. ETBs will not release. I think the number is like 28 days after the official release day, following the booster bundles that are a month away from the ETBs.
Yeah.
It is going to be the most demand-driven set ever because it's the largest set we've also ever received.
It's a great set.
Dude, some very impactful cards in the TCG and some very gorgeous artwork. So Ascended Heroes is going to be a freaking nightmare. And
don't buy singles is all I'm going to say.
Dude.
Because those single prices are going to be asinine.
Well, for somebody that needs these cards for the TCG and competitively, once we rotate into I format,
yeah.
I mean, I gotta pay whatever price people want for these commons and
we
uncommons.
We could see EX as being $10-15.
Oh,
like a standard
absolutely.
EX.
No, there's no question.
Unprecedented times. I mean, this could be the highest price per pack we've ever seen, like a week or so after release date. I mean, Phantasmal, these newer sets, some of them were pretty crazy. I mean, Prismatic, obviously, if we think about Prismatic, the price pack.
Prismatic opened at like 13.
Exactly. And I would not be shocked if we saw prices at around $15 a pack, which is, and then think of, like I was saying, the rip and shippers, right? So now we are getting all these people that are trying to get, these guys rip thousands, hundreds of packs, and all you have is text, the sticker collections and double packs. Yeah, it's like it's gonna.
What's so messed up about this too? So release date is January 30th.
Yeah.
Right.
The Pokemon Day is literally less than a month after that.
Yeah. Dude.
So your hype, your peak hype is coming right at like probably right around there, right? Like the 2 weeks of February, like Valentine's Day is going to be nuts because you're 2 weeks post Ascended Heroes and 2 weeks to Pokemon Day where we expect a ton of Gen 10 news. Like that's like I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it because I'm kind of excited, but also like, oh no.
Dude, the Pokemon company's not dumb. No matter what they say, even if they say, guys, we have to delay the release of the ETBs and the booster bundles because we are trying to print to demand. No, you are lying your asses off. You have seen the level of hype around Pokemon for the last year. You cannot tell me that you haven't already been maxing out your printing capabilities. Don't throw that bullshit in my face. Now, the bigger problem that I have with Ascended Heroes releasing is, well, the rumor mill is that the distributors, right? They sent out to all of their LGSs, their online stores or whatever, hey, this is the product that I have available. You guys send up your request orders. Okay, we've approved these orders, yeah? They are holding back these 2-pack blisters and these sticker collections because they are going to wait to release them to then charge the market price that is designated by TCG Player and eBay, and then sell them at that price to their LGSs and to the streamers, right? And so the couple of people that I've been talking to are like, man, I got 2 cases of like tech sticker collections, whatever, and their distros were basically like, yeah, guys, guess what? You're gonna have to charge. Like, we're gonna charge you basically 80% of market price after like a month. But yeah, initial allocations are awful.
I think we're gonna see a price hike in Black Bolt, White Flare, Mega Evolution, and Phantasmal Flames because of this. Because people are gonna want to rip anyway. And those are the products that are still going to be on the shelves a little bit, right? Like I think Black Bolt White Flare just got released in Costco or something. Like we're seeing that trickle out a bit, which is a good thing. I still think that's a great set.
Dude, there's only one set that I'm buying to rip right now because you can find it everywhere. No, it's Journey Together. I find Journey Together wherever I want, and I am ripping the hell out of it. Set. Oh, I mean, it's a great set. It's great. It's fun. It's got a lot of good IRs between the Whale Lord and the Articuno. The idea that people aren't going to chase packs to rip when Ascended Heroes comes out, asinine. Yeah. They are going to want packs, and I'll
say
tell
it's not cheap though, man.
The $15 per pack on release of Ascended Heroes, No, you would rather pay the $15 for Prismatic Evolutions, right? Or pay $15 for a Destined Rivals pack, something that has a little bit more dedicated value and a longer track record.
The one thing I will say is if the Pokemon Company wants to kind of please us as the collectors and people that are TCG players, is that you'll try and mimic a Crown Zenith style hit rate, and you'll bring more hits into the pack, so that way you're getting a little bit more bang for the minimal amount of packs you get. But I think even with that, like you said, the set is so big and there's so many good arts. Like, don't even get me started. Like the Mega Dragonite, the Enzorark. I mean, like there's so many good cards. And the Derpy Pikachu. Like there's so many good ones. In my opinion, the better Mewtwo art than even Destined Rivals. I just, there's so many things in that set that just kind of, for me, get me excited. I really want to rip it, but there's so many people trained now because of 2025 that it seems like punishment to open your sealed product, because you're watching your collector app, you're watching all these things, and it just goes up. And so for you personally, you open stuff and you're like, why'd I do this? Even though we all know this is still in a way a form of gambling, right? We're trying to hit the hit. It's not like we're guaranteed anything, but it even more so this past year, I think I even felt it a little bit. And I try not to feel that way, but if I don't get it at MSRP, I'm like, why would I touch that? Like, throw it into my closet over here with my sealed collection and keep it safe,
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought this up, because I just did a rip party for Black Bolt White Flare with one of my buddies.
Yeah.
Right?
And he pulled the Hydreigon SIR.
Yeah. I did. So I pulled the Hydreigon SIR and I pulled the Seismitoad. Right? And I'll say this. Like, it was probably about $6.50 a pack. Right? Which is not bad for Black Bolt White Flare. Like, shout out. Yeah. I got vendor friends here. He kind of hooked us up, right? He was looking to make some deals. And so he was like, I can offload some of this to you. And he got it at MSRP because he's a vending machine aficionado. Like, good for him. So I will say this. I love the point you made about, because I was ripping it with a friend. My friend is definitely more casual than me. Most people are more casual than the three of us, right? And he was like, I have ripped like 300 packs. And I was like, bro, like that is so much, right? Like he hasn't pulled the monochrome. And I agree with you. It does the math. I'm a bit of a math guy. Yeah. The math does not math. Why is sealed product so expensive and singles are so cheap? And it dawned on me. It's because nobody is master setting anymore. Yeah. Like
nobody's just collecting. It's not about just master setting. Nobody is collecting because nobody cares. That's the one problem we had about flooding the sets with IRs, right? That's why Crown Zenith was such a great set, is because it had a dedicated trainer gallery that also had great pull rates, right? Well, the Galarian gallery, excuse me, for anybody that's going to be super technical in the comments, but like Brilliant Stars had the trainer gallery. Lost Origin had a trainer gallery. So did Silver Tempest, right? There were just enough cards that when you got the hit, you were like, oh yeah, juicy. And then Crown Zenith came out and you were like, yes, oh, this is awesome. And then the beginning of Scarlet and Violet with all these illustration mirrors were like, wow, these pull rates are getting good. My God, they're getting awesome. And then you get to the end of Scarlet and Violet, and you're like, oh, there's an IR. How much is the IR? That's what the question started being at the end of Scarlet and Violet. So people aren't collecting anymore because they just don't care, man. It's
crazy. They're so pretty too. Like for me, right? When you think about the fact that I pulled the Hydreigon SIR and the Seismitoad, in past times, I would have made my money back and then some. Yeah, because sure. I'll say this, guys. Trust me, no one understands it more than me. I'm talking to you, chat. No one gets it more. It's way more fun to rip it. It's fun to say that you pulled that card. You remember how you did it. You remember who you were with. I get it. If you are in this from any aspect, like if you are either financially not that well off, right? And I'm saying like well off, it is asinine how cheap singles are right now. It is insane to me how cheap singles are. Like you could go buy every card. There's 150 IRs. This is so, I can't believe I'm saying this. But you could go buy every IR, every SIR, all of the black-white rares, and I promise you it will be, I can confidently say it will cost you half as much as trying to rip for it. And that's very conservative. I would argue it's probably 20%, 10%.
I was gonna say closer to 10, dude. Have you seen the prices and some?
And it didn't used to be that way. It did not used to be that that ratio it's kind of like the housing market, right? Like you hear about how much houses used to cost in 1970. That's how we're talking about packs right now. Like packs are dumb. Sealed product is dumb expensive.
Dude, the perfect example is Cosmic Eclipse. I remember ripping Cosmic Eclipse booster boxes and almost getting the full master set in 3 boxes.
Yeah. And it makes sense, though. The Cosmic Eclipse prices still make sense.
Yeah.
Right? What's the chase? It's the Lovebirds. How much are the Lovebirds worth? 8 to 10K. How much is a booster box?
That's Team Up, not Cosmic Eclipse.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Cosmic has the Blastoise and Piplup, and it's got the Piplup, and it's got
Charizard, Braxton, and
Yeah, but it's also got the Piplup with Dawn as well, which is also a great card.
If you pull those cards, you're feeling good, right?
Yeah,
like, Cosmic Eclipse booster box is what? Like, is it 3K or is it 5K?
It's like 3,800 right now.
Yeah,
38.
Yeah,
if you pull that card, so if you go pull, in that booster box, you go pull, I don't know, 3 or 4 of the big hits, you're good.
I mean, like if they're at a PSA 10, yes, exactly.
True, if they're graded.
Raw copies.
Why are raw cars so cheap too? I don't get that.
There is no booster box that you could pull.
Should we talk about grading?
Dude,
I was gonna say
we talk about grading every time. Genelac, we can't say anything about grading. Like we cannot start this. Tidal, we want to hear your thoughts unfiltered on grading, no matter if it's about a specific grading card company, if it's about the manipulation regarding graded cards, the desirability of graded over singles. We want to hear your unfiltered thoughts. Send it.
So personally, for me, I'm very old school in the fact that I've always had singles, raw singles. Cards, actual physical cards. You'll see up top, I have a couple slabs. There's a couple things that I've picked up that are slabs, but for me, I love not having slabs for multiple reasons. One, I just don't like them. I like the actual card, the way they feel. And then for me too, when I vend, I don't take in slabs. I just don't. I only deal singles. That's all I move, is because one, the cost just genuinely doesn't make sense. I understand, right? But for me, for an 8 to 10, right? 8 through 10, I'm not seeing much of a difference, for a lot of these cards, whether it be one dot on the back, a slight centering, 55% to 40, all this differential.
You're seeing some risk here too with how high these numbers are.
Is my biggest thing. And then I also, I feel wrong charging people, like you were just saying. The single for a card is super fair, whereas the graded for the card is not fair. But I do understand that some people really do enjoy slabs. It puts it into a protective case. There's exclusivity. There's a population number, which is kind of cool to know. Like, it's kind of cool to know, hey, for me, I really want the Unseen Forces reverse stamp Corsola in a 10. The reason why I want it in a 10
Scout
is the reason I want it in a 10 is because it's like pop 3. If I get one, I know I have 1 in 10 in the less than 10 in the world. Like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking about manipulation, I could go on about that for a long time. I'll try to keep it short, but PSA is the big dog. They're not going anywhere. They've been here for so long. If you go to every show, and I like to walk the show before, after. I usually try to shut down a little early, do a little walking, try to pick up some extra things, PC stuff. You just don't see anything CGC unless it's, Beckett Black Label kind of situation. You don't see Tag, even though I think Tag technically looks a little cleaner, in my genuine opinion. But overall, PSA is everywhere. It's in every slab case. It's in everyone's collection. They open their Zion cases. It's all PSA. It is the big dog. The problem I currently have with PSA is that I know there are players in the game going around in Collecticon, going around in these big shows, and they're buying slabs at 90%.
Yep.
90%. No vendor is going to turn that down. If I can make 10% quickly off of all of my inventory, why would you not? You get capital, you get whatever you need, you can move directly into that new stuff. But those buyers are taking it straight to GameStop and they're putting them in power packs. And who is in bed with GameStop? It's PSA. and like
eBay.
And
Yeah.
eBay. And so like there's this weird and then we could talk about the buyback and how people are viewing genuinely that some of the recent submissions, my card was a 10. There's no way it did not 10, and it goes a 9. I'll offer you your buyback in a 9, but I'll never see that card again. And is it getting cracked? Is it getting put into a 10 slab? We genuinely don't know. There's a video that recently released. I have not gotten the chance to watch it. It's a PSA grader that goes into some pretty big depth, I believe, of how it was for him at the PSA grading facility. I'd love to watch it. I haven't gotten the chance to do it, but for me, grading, I think it's kind of a scam. Like, I really do. Like, and I understand that there's heavily played, moderately played, light played, near mint. We can kind of play the plus minus game in those, those conditions. But why do I buy this Mewtwo from Destin Rivals at 380, 400, whatever it is, in a super clean copy, and then I go and send it in, I get a 10, and then immediately it's like quadrupled in price, tripled in price. It's just, it's tough for me. I don't have the capital to do that. I've got a kid, I've got a wife, I've got other means of making sure that my life continues moving forward. Singles works for me. It's, I have allocation into a group of stuff that I can move, and the money isn't something I need, so it kind of carries over. But I have people bring me slabs to my table, and they're like, could you take 70, 85%, 80%, whatever it is? And I'm like, no, like I don't have $1,500 in cash for one card when I could go into singles. I just bought a lot out from, I was talking about one of the One Piece guys now. He's a One Piece guy, of course. I bought all of his bangers. Like, we're talking, Evolving Sky hits. We're talking Cosmic Eclipse, Mimikyu, Piplup. We're talking amazing stuff, right? Huge cards. And I got them all for like $700. And it was like a lot of like 30 or so singles that was like amazing.
No,
and you just can't do that with slabs. You're not buying that much slabs at that.
Let's be real. Slabs are about money.
Yes.
It's at the end of the day, slabs are about money. And the reason that singles are so cheap is because there are so many people in the hobby right now that are trying. I was talking with my friend about this. I call them hustlers. They're not scalpers, but by definition, you're not supposed to make money off of a hobby. That's why you call it a hobby.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of hustlers that are calling this their side hustle. And that's fine. We all do it too, right?
Yeah.
Like all three of us, like we do content around it. We vend, blah, 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 blah. But the population of hustlers might outweigh the population of collectors right now, which is why slabs are so expensive. And it's why singles are so stupid cheap.
Yep.
Because that's what I'm saying. Nobody's putting them in binders. Nobody's master setting. Nobody's doing cool projects. It's crazy. I posted a picture of me doing the rip it with my buddy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That got more engagement and more likes because people were like, holy crap, it is so refreshing to see packs getting opened.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, it was financially stupid of me. I didn't care because this is my hobby. Right? Like, yes, there are things I do to try and hustle as well to pay for the hobby, but at the end of the day, it's the hobby. And I think that's what you're saying, Titles. There are so many people with their Zion cases walking around. They're like, I want to escape the Matrix and Pokemon is my way out. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to tell you that ship has sailed. It's like if you think you're going to be the next Dogecoin millionaire or you think Bitcoin is going to save you, maybe if you bought it in 2012. But like,
not now.
That's not now. Not now, because you need the collectors to pay for your stuff. And that's just like, it's just not there. So, and I think PSA is so interesting to me because people are always like, well, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I do. These are the 9s and below that they sent me. These are my 10s from a 20 card submission.
Yep.
As a reminder, I have submitted with every grading company. Tag I consider to be the most accurate. And I had a 60% 10 hit rate on my tags.
Yep.
And that's only because I sent some stuff in that I knew would not 10, by the way. Like my childhood Neo Genesis Lugia that got a 5. I did that because I wanted it in a slab, right? So I know what 10s look like, right? I got grading tools. I got the little microfiber cloth and everything. So they offered to buy these back. I'm certain I could have had the exact same thing happen to me. Where
and I think the other funny thing too is the new cert versus old cert thing. And I almost view old. I think even, and it's crazy, right? But I also think ultimately the old certs are harder to get in a higher,
Does that not just show the discredibility of an authentication company?
Yes.
The fact that the
because there's too many
matters.
There's too many cards now, right? If you think about back then, PSA was getting a lot of cards, the old certs. There was a lot of cards still coming in, but now I'm pretty sure that guy talks about it in that video. He was saying some obscene number is when he gets a card, he puts it on the table. He's got like X amount of seconds to determine a grade. Like, and Genelac, you probably just did it. How long did it take you to grade just one card or prep one card or, go into it and be
hours.
Like, right.
I wouldn't say hours. Okay, I submitted.
But even if you just are going
not one
for
card, I'm saying all of them.
That's what I mean. If you take 5-10 minutes just to like go over a card, you're like, I don't know, maybe like they're getting it. And it's like the line is going boom, no 8, boom.
Brother,
I don't know 9.
I got grading scales.
It's personal opinion too with PSA that people tend to forget. Tag technically is using. I think they're utilizing AI to do a lot of
AI plus ML.
Yep.
Right. So now we're utilizing two different ways. Whereas PSA is a gal just deciding what the grade is right in that moment. We have no idea how their night went last night. We don't know if they're going to get,
we don't know if they're doing this drunk.
Right. We have no idea.
Genuinely don't get it. I just don't. I don't get it. Like I've said that you've watched all of our episodes, Tidal, so you know how I feel about this. But I think Vintage looks good in PSA because of the nostalgia factor. Yes. That's the only reason that it looks good. I think if you're looking for accuracy, like I've seen PSA 10s, and I look at them and I go, bruh, this is not a 10. They're like, if you send this to Beckett, this is a 9.5. All right?
Yeah.
Like straight up. So if that's it's purely a money grab. Purely.
Yeah, totally. Logan Paul's card.
Oh, dude, I'm so glad you brought it up because I was about to.
TikTok he dropped today.
Yes, dude.
That card is not a 10. Like we all know it's not a. We all know it's not a 10.
So you know what's crazy is that nobody, when he bought, when he got this, in the initial card and whatever, everybody was so focused on the purchase price that nobody brought up the fact that it was a PSA 9 for, correct me if I'm wrong, 11 years.
A long time. It was over a decade.
Yeah, I could be wrong there, but it was a PSA 9 for 11 years. It'd been resubmitted 3 or 4 times, and it got a 9 every single time. And then somehow it winds up a 10. It's in Logan Paul's hands. It's on Liquid Marketplace. It's like, who the hell
he sold shares
anything?
Of the card.
Yes, dude. And so now he's auctioning it off, and then he sold the auction rights for $2.5 million to Liquid Marketplace. That now he, as a founder, he was a declared co-founder of Liquid Marketplace, and then was like, I have no idea what they're doing over at Liquid Marketplace, but I was not involved in any of this or whatever. And it's like, dude, your photo is on the cover page. Like you were pushing the Liquid Marketplace so hard. You were pushing crypto so hard. You bought $800,000 in NFTs that are now worth $1,000.
The monkeys.
Yes. And it's like, dude,
that whole family is full of scams, right? You have to. People need to open their eyes.
And Jake Paul's.
And I loved boxing.
Yeah.
Boxing is like one of my favorite sports ever. I love it. It's always been one of my favorite sports. I can remember back when Mike Tyson bit the ear off. I was watching pay-per-view fights with my dad for a long time. And now he's like made a mockery of the sport that's been dying for several years, of course, let me say, since, for a while, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd, when they were gone, it was basically kind of over at that point.
Yep.
But it's just everything they do is just a mockery.
It should be a red flag.
It should be a red flag.
Yep. If they're involved, it's tainted.
They're geniuses, though. They're geniuses. They are entertainment tycoons. They are icons. I get it. Mm-hmm. I get it. Have me on record stating I think that the Tag 10 Illustrator Pikachu should be worth more.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
I would argue that anything graded tag should be worth more. And Tidal, I'm certain I didn't tell you this, but in the PSA submission that I did a few months ago with a buddy of mine here, I actually cracked 3 tag 9 slabs. I cracked 3 of them and was like, you know what? I'm gonna send these to PSA and just see. And I looked at the grading report, right? And so one of them is the Giratina V Star from Crown Zenith. And it has an indentation on the back, right? I know it's not a perfect card, okay?
Right.
And I was just like, man, you know what? I don't think PSA is going to catch that because the corners are great, the centering's great, like everything was great, but that indentation brought it to a 9 in tag. Cracked it, sent it to PSA. Guess what it got? A PSA 10. And then I cracked a Blastoise SIR. Right, that had a little bit of edge wear on the right hand side, and then it had a very small indentation that tag caught. And I was like, you know what? Let's see if PSA cares about the edge wear. Sent it off, came back at 10. I sent the Entei V from Crown Zenith. Same thing, a little bit of edge wear and a dent in there. Came back at 10. And it's like, I'm glad that I have the PSA 10s.
Tens are supposed to be flawless. 10s are supposed to be perfect in every single way, and 9 is a minty card.
Yep.
Right. And so 9 should be worth more than raw.
I'm happy about the PSA 10s, but they're staying in my collections because I don't feel comfortable selling them now. Because in my mind, I'm like,
you're dirty. You're a dirty boy.
I tainted this. Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
Boy over there.
I'm not going
to. You're a dirty little man.
Talk dirty to me, Daddy. Anyway.
Listen, I had the same moral conundrum. I got a Secret Wonders Lugia over here at a tag 9. Not Secret Wonders, sorry. It is. Jesus. So this is the moving thing that he gets mad about, by the way. Sorry, I'll re-say that.
I don't get mad about it. Don't repeat yourself.
I'm in a
Just
moral
say what
dilemma
you're
as
trying
well.
to say, what you wanted to say.
Right? Lugia Secret Wonders in a 9. Special Delivery Charizard in a 9. All tag. I am 99% sure I could crack these things, send it in under a different name, because I'm pretty sure PSA hates me now. Don't care. And it would 10.
Oh yeah.
Like I know for a fact. And that's the thing, is like I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I get why people do it, but I just don't understand objectively. I think we can all agree the tag slabs look better. They're not brittle. Doesn't matter if they're brittle. You usually buy guards for them anyway, and then you hang them on the wall or in a case. I don't know what we're talking about here.
Dude, cracking the tag slabs was a bitch and a half. Because I also cracked.
They're not brittle anymore. Dude, that's over.
I cracked a Beckett 9.5 card to send off to PSA that also got a PSA 10. Cracking the Beckett slab was difficult, right? But that thing's industrial.
Yeah, Beckett's.
And it's great. But tag, I was like, I had to take a chisel and a hammer. I had to crack it all around, and then it started shattering the rest of the slab. And I was like, oh my God, if one of these pieces breaks off and scratches the card, I'm fucked. But I was like doing it so meticulous that in my mind, I was like, thank God these don't crack open like PSA, where I could just crack open PSA with a bottle opener, because then you could absolutely just reseal these and just put it, in a 10 or whatever, right? And just replace the card. But it was so damn difficult to crack this thing to make sure that it didn't ruin the card, that it actually made me enjoy tag that much more. And I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm sending this to PSA.
Yeah, grading is crazy. I don't know. It's tough. It's one of those things. I think, collect what you love, right? I'm not telling you what to do. Don't not grade.
Collect, not hustle.
Collect, not hustle, right? I think that's the biggest thing, is like, really do that. Collect, don't hustle. And I mean, you said it.
Hustle a little.
I was just about to say, like, for me, the main reason I started to vend was I wanted to make the hobby cheap. It's basically a way for me to not have to spend as much of my money that I need to use for so many other things.
Yep.
T-ball,
children,
T-ball, housing, like all these things that are real life costs and not shiny cardboard at the end of the day, right? We are
God,
so I know, and it's
God, I love it.
It's like you're talking about ripping, right? And I wanted to come back to that. Paldea Evolved, right? So I have been ripping for Paldea Evolved for the Magikarp. We are almost at 300 packs on my Instagram, right? I am almost at 300 packs, and you said it. I could have bought the singles, right? And if I really wanted to, if I would have bought it at, its $30 value at one point, I could have bought a lot of them, 50 of them, so many of them. But it's still, for me, I love to rip. I love it, man. Like, something about not.
But you're sticking to one set, and that's smart.
I am. And it's like, I have.
But that's smart.
In the meantime, I'm making a master set, right? So like I'm slowly working through. But what's crazy is 300 packs. This is the other crazy stat. 300 packs, and I am not even at 70% completion.
That's normal.
And it people
is, don't realize
it's wild that exactly that people don't get that. It is to rip to make the set happen. I say it all the time on my YouTube channel whenever I'm doing buying or vending. I even turn and look at the camera. I'm like, this is why you buy the cards. Yep. People are master setting. I have them come to my tables at times. Not that many people, but I do have people come up and they're master setting. Hey, do you have any Destined Rivals? Hey, do you have any of this? And like, I want to kiss them. I'm like, you're so smart. I love you.
Yeah,
like,
well, you have
because why would you rip Destined Rivals, right? Look at the price of the booster box.
300.
It's 400. Dude. It is 410 right now on TCG Player.
Are you kidding me?
$410 for a box that came out this year.
That is a brand new set.
You guys don't understand. Our listeners probably don't understand. It used to be so easy to get an $80 or $90 booster box. Like, you guys don't don't get it.
Jen, like, I'm sorry to interrupt you, dude. This was something that I have to say right now because it's been driving me crazy because I was looking through our comments on all of our content recently. The amount of you guys that are like, this podcast only exists because of the turmoil and the value-obsessed fans, a part of the Pokemon community, yada, yada, yada. All right, first off, go yourself. I'm telling you this right now, and the reason I say this, no, I'm not editing that, dude. I'm so mad. It angers me so much because, Jenna, like, do you remember the very first phone call that we did that we were like, let's start a podcast, right? Do you remember how long ago this was? This was almost 4 years ago that we did this.
Yeah.
And then guess what? I had to deploy, so we couldn't do this. But we wanted to do this years ago, and we just couldn't make it happen. And we were doing this at a time where not a lot of people were in the hobby, and they really did not understand that we were buying packs from distro for $2.75, right? The only thing we were doing was ripping.
I literally forgot that we did this.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is, oh my God, I'm
sorry,
long
bro. It's bad.
I was so enraged by these comments, and just people that are. And there's nothing that really makes a Pokemon fan, like, specifically, right? You don't need to like check a box to enjoy Pokemon. Yeah. But the amount of people that are coming out of the woodwork that I'm just like, I didn't even know you existed, or they're like, you guys are just worthless. You're only here because of X, Y, and Z, a part of, the hype, drives me nuts. Drives me crazy.
The guy that said that he could beat me in any form of any game, I will run with you. And I will run you.
Dude.
In any game. I don't care if it's VGC, Pogo, Unite, or the TCG. I will run you.
Give me Pokemon Ranger.
Oh, dude.
It doesn't matter.
Bro.
I will run you. This is what I do. Like, and to be clear, we created this podcast. This podcast is a reflection. We want this podcast to be a reflection of the community because we're a part of it. So if it seems like we're negative or we're hating too often or we're too value-based, newsflash, that's the state of the community right now.
Yep.
Right? Like, that's just where we are. And I love that Tidal is talking about, Paul Day Evolved, and he's building a master set about it because it's just not financially responsible to do it. So you have to do it for the love of it. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, and you guys, like, that's what I was trying to say. It used to make sense. It used to be a real consideration to go buy 3 Chilling Reign booster boxes for $80 to $90. You rip them all, you see if you can get the Blaziken, a couple of the Calyrexes, right?
Yep.
And then you could go buy some singles or rip to try to get the rest, and then trade with your buddies that, like, because most of the cards had similar values. Like, me and my buddy were talking about it. He's like, oh, dude, I got these IRs. If you need those, like, I'll trade you for a Mega Evolution, something. Like, because that's how it works, right?
Yep.
And because of the state of the market and the community and the fact that everybody wants to hustle, it doesn't make sense to open product. Nope. That's the problem. Because we can't go get product. Yeah, we can't go get product to open it. right? So we're reduced to buying singles, which is it's just not as fun.
Reduced.
Yeah, reduced to buying singles.
We are. Like, if you think about it, if I would have built, I mean, unless you have a dumb amount of money, you should just, I mean, how much does it cost for Prismatic to master set it? What do they say, 4 grand?
Yeah, 4,600.
You want to know how much it would cost to rip it?
Oh, no.
It's probably like 12.
Yeah. Probably more.
I think you're short shooting it. I was going to say closer to
probably more.
Yeah, I was going to say closer
if you
to like $17,000.
I'm going for one illustration rare in a set that's pretty forgiving, and I've spent well over, hopefully my wife can't hear me on the other side of this wall, but well over $1,500, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Cards, you know what I mean? And it makes no sense.
Yeah, dude.
So,
to rip product, we've opened 200 packs of Prismatic Evolutions and we haven't pulled a single SIR. And that's at a pack price.
I pulled the Espeon.
Oh, you pulled the Espeon. Okay, I've opened 200 and I haven't pulled a single SIR. And I spent an average of $7.50 on those packs.
Yeah. So here's what I'll say. My advice to our listeners, right? I know we're being a little negative. Scout and I'm laughing about that because we had said like this is going to be the feel good episode with Tidal. What I would say is figure out what you like to collect. So what Tidal's doing, I really commend because he loves Magikarp. He likes the set Paldea Evolve, so he's honing in on that. And what I would say is there are very few people in the world right now that can go master set every set that's out there.
Yep.
That can also get a sealed collection of every ETB and every booster box.
Yep.
And can go get the PSA 10 or Tag 10 of the card of your dreams.
Yep.
Like that's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money. So pick what you want to do in the hobby. That will be more financially responsible, and then hustle a little. To all you hustlers that are just out there to hustle, go to One Piece, man.
They're going.
They're going to Yu-Gi-Oh, dude.
Yeah, the full art.
Listen, and I'm okay with that because there's always been an aspect of hustle in the Pokemon. It's smart. Like you let's say I don't care that much.
It's a luxury.
Yeah.
Right? We have to
I don't care about Umbreon that much. That's not true, but let's say I don't care about Umbreon and I pull Umbreon and I'm like, you know what? I think this is really good, so I'm going to grade it. I get a 10. I would immediately go sell that. I would not hold on to it. I would go sell that, and I'd be like, ooh, okay, what can I go buy? Right now, singles, right? I would take that. I would go buy singles. I would finish my master set, because I'm a master setter. Shout out Voltex. I have every binder from Scarlet and Violet. I'm building out the master set for every single one.
Yep.
It's expensive.
Oh, yeah.
But it's way less expensive than trying to buy the packs to open. Yeah. It's impossible.
Yep. Well, Genelac, we're going to stop beating a dead horse real quick because, Tidal, I got a quick question for you, buddy. Yep. And this is more for our viewers. 2025 was loaded with a ton of sets, man, with the earliest set of 2025 being released January 17th, that being Prismatic Evolutions, followed by Journey Together, Destined Rivals, Black Bolt, White Flare, Mega Evolutions, Phantasmal Flames, dude, the whole bit. So what I want to know from you, what are your top 5 cards from 2025
Man, there was a lot of really good cards, in my opinion, and there was a lot of really good ones. This is in like no specific order. I think the one that really jumps out to me is Cynthia's Garchomp from Destined Rivals. Yeah. That one is so good. I think, for me, and there's so many details in these cards that we tend to forget to notice. And my wife actually pointed it out to me, but she was like, "Did you see that she's on the screen?" And I didn't even know that was. I thought it was more of like a
she's on,
just a close up of her face in the background, but it's like her on the screen in the stadium, like chef's kiss, super good art. I love that one. Moving into, I love the Dwebble from Black Bolt.
Yes, the one where it's looking at the glass
he's
bottle.
He's looking at the glass bottle. That one's really good. Kind of hits home with me being like the saltwater guy. I really love that. Yep. Mega Evolution, I think, had some really good hits, but the Gardevoir is beautiful. And not the gold card. I'm not a gold card stan, but the Gardevoir SIR is really, really good. Really, really good. That one's amazing.
Super good Pokemon, too. That's the thing.
Yeah, and like whether it be just in game or in the TCG game, oh my gosh, just like what a powerhouse. Yeah. Like insanely good. I personally am, again, kind of falling back into the artwork of things. Genelac, you actually hit one of my favorite cards of 2025, the Seismitoad. I know it was like
pretty.
It was like hyper pumped, obviously, right? Because it's a Shinji card, right? But that is why I'm chasing after the Magikarp. I love Shinji's artwork. I think like
it's so pretty.
Look at the Artrilodon from Phantasmal Flames. It's a common card, but that art is so good. Like it is really, really good. And I think I've got one more. The last one, it's gonna be like on everybody's list, right? But it's the Charizard from Phantasmal.
Yes.
There's been so many good Charizard arts. I'm not a Charizard guy in general. I really am not. I'm not a fan. I never ran him in the games. I just never was. And that's the great thing about this hobby is you can there's so many different mons. There's 1,000+ of them that you can fall in love with. And the art though. But I'd have to lean more into the Japanese version just because the Charmander is not under a bunch of text. That beat me up on the inside is that the Charmander was covered. But that art is probably top 5 Charizard arts ever. Like ever.
Top 3.
Like, yeah, I mean, like the Crystal,
It's
in my
really
opinion, is really good. I really like the Crystal. That Charizard's amazing. But, obviously the OG art is amazing too, but just something about that Charizard art with the whole evolution line working into just the coloring of it it's really good. But there's so many cards from 2025 that I really love. But those are probably the 5 that really stick out to me. I think like honorable mention, I would say is the Espeon from Prismatic. That one was really nice. I love that. I'm not a big fan of the rainbow border, but it did kind of hit me in the feels because it was not a silver border. It was something fresh and new.
Yeah.
It wasn't a yellow border. It wasn't a silver border, but it was new. And it was kind of fun too. If you rip and you do see a little twinkle of some rainbow, you get a little excited. So it's kind of cool. But I would say those are probably like my 5 and my honorable mention.
Yeah. Hey, those are good picks. Genelac, what about you, buddy? What are your top 5 cards from 2025?
His were really solid. I want to give a shout out real quick though. I think it would be so hard to go through the IRs and give ratings like below a 7.
Right.
Like I'll give an example here. Look at this.
Yeah.
This card, I'm pretty sure this is not expensive.
No.
That's
a $7 card.
Yeah.
This is an amazing piece of artwork.
I've got it in a tag 10.
That's what I'm saying. There are so many examples of just like shout out to the artists. Yeah. Like straight up. Again. Like the artists balled out in 2025. They were really good. And I think that those IRs, like if somebody were to go out and just have all the Scarlet and Violet IRs, I think it would be such a cool project. My top 5 are I'll get it out of the way. The Charizard's on there. Shocker, right? Big Charizard guy. Yeah. It's the one card I'm like, yeah, I need that in a tag 10. Right? Like I'm not super into the grading scene right now, but that one probably needs to be in every slab. Like I probably have to go get a tag 10, a PSA 10, a CGC 10, a Beckett 10, like just all the 10s. So that's on there for sure. I love the Wailord, dude.
That was another one.
I love the Wailord. It's so good.
So good.
Oh my god.
So Wailord has to go on there. I'm a huge Lucario fan. And I think Mega Lucario, while I've said the design could be better, specifically the Z, that card is like that might be the best Lucario artwork we've gotten outside of like maybe the XY Furious Fists. Like Lucario does not have a huge catalog, to be clear.
Yep.
So him getting any love is pretty sweet. So Lucario's on there.
Like the Charizard V-Star card, the fighting of the Mons is awesome. I love that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, it just hits, right? So I got 2 left. I'm not a huge Gardevoir stan. I do think that that deserves an honorable mention. The Seismitoad. I hadn't seen it. I hadn't seen it in person yet until I pulled it, and when I pulled it, I was like, oh, the colors on that thing are great. Like they are genuinely great. And then, I'm a basic boy. I love that Mewtwo. Mewtwo with Geo, like, I'm a Kanto boy. I think that, I think the Cynthia's Garchomp is just as good. I don't think the Mewtwo should be that much more expensive than the Cynthia's Garchomp. No. I personally just like Mewtwo and Geo better. So that's probably... It's hard, man. Like I said, I didn't put any Prismatic cards on there, and there are Prismatic that definitely deserve a shout-out. Specifically, the Blade Boy, Cerulege. That is a... stupidly underrated card. That is a stupidly underrated card. Like again, I'm not a huge I'm not a big evolutions guy. The only evolution that I'm big on is really Umbreon. So Prismatic didn't hit that hard for me.
Yep.
Most overrated card in my opinion is the Pikachu from Surging Sparks.
That didn't come out in 2025.
I think that was end of 2024.
Yep.
Okay, we're good then. And then I don't have to be mad about the Pikachu. But yeah, so those are my top 5. Scout, what about you? What are your top 5? And if the Ceruledge isn't on there, I'm calling cap, fake news, and we're re-recording.
Brother, you should already know what they are. At number 1, it's the Charizard. I'm on record saying it is hands down the greatest Charizard artwork we've ever received. And that's non-negotiable, right?
Yeah.
Number 2, and I'm just going to go in order of the sets that we've gotten. I have to take a Mega Evolutions poll here. That Gardevoir is so good.
It is that good.
That evolutionary line, fantastic. It is just undeniably gorgeous. Next, Black Bolt, dude. That Zekrom SIR.
I really considered putting that on there.
Dude, no, that Zekrom SIR. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous card. After the Zekrom, buddy, I'm going to have to go. I want to say Journey Together, but I can't. There's just a couple other cards that are ahead.
There's too many good cards.
I'm gonna go Destined Rivals, and I'm gonna go the Cynthia's Garchomp. You know, I like the Mewtwo is solid. Team Rocket's Mewtwo is great, but there is something about that artwork that I just feel like they missed. You know, they make Mewtwo far too stagnant. So I got to go Cynthia's Garchomp.
That's fair.
Last but not least, dude, is Ceruledge. You knew Ceruledge was going to be on this list. There's no way. Yeah. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous card, man. One of my favorites. I can't wait to buy freaking 20 copies of that card in the next 2 weeks.
Hey, man, there's some SIRs, though. Like I said, I had to put the Wailord because I just feel like it's completely misrepresented.
Yeah.
There are some SIRs out there. Like, I would not burn anybody at the stake for putting any of the SIRs. Yeah. Like, I think that there is a claim to be made for almost every SIR to be in your top 5. Like, they are that good.
Ethan's Ho-Oh, like, I mean, that one's so good. Yeah, like they're like you said,
Typhlosion, dude.
I'd eat that one.
Lily's Clefairy is such a solid card. If you're a Clefairy fan,
and Zoroark. I mean, like there's so many. There's just like you guys said. There's
the
like
monochromes. I love the monochromes.
Yep.
I mean, come on.
I thought it was cool. I really was glad they brought it back. Something for me with the golds and the monochromes is I feel is lacking is just a little bit more splash of the Mon's color. Give me a little bit more. And then I think it really stands out. But I do understand the monochromatic from Black Bolt and White Flare. I think, but the golds though, I think they're missing a little bit there.
Yeah, the black.
I'd agree.
I'm really like the black. I think the Black Zekrom probably deserves to be on my list over the Wailord. Yeah. It's one of those things that like, that card is such a great ode to both the Pokemon and the art style that was the Silver Dialga and Silver Palkia, right? Yeah. Like that's the thing is like they did such a good job with it that like it kind of hits both sides for me. And I told Scout like I would pay an asinine amount of money for a black label of the Black Zekrom because I think that would tie everything together.
Yeah,
that'd be so.
That would be really sick.
Again, I probably couldn't afford it, but it would be sweet.
Yeah, I actually had one of those monochromatic Zekroms in my inventory for a little bit of time, and it was one of those cards I'd put out, and I would stop and like look at it for a while and be like, "This thing is."
It's so different.
It's really different.
It's so different. It's you could do some cool things with the display, right? Where you would do like. You know, because I love the artists in the community, by the way. Like, shout out the artists that help augment our collections, whether it's the acrylics guys or the guys who do the displays where it extends the artwork.
Yeah.
You could do some cool stuff with all the monochromes where it would look like an abstract. I saw somebody talking about this, where it'd be an abstract painting, and then in each of the different pieces, you would put the monochrome into that splash of color.
Yeah.
And they would just blend together. I was like, that's a super cool idea.
And that's what we do. We like bling out our collection, right? Like, I mean, graded guards for goodness gracious sakes. I mean,
I
like
love graded guards.
I mean, shout out graded guard. Yeah, shout out graded guard.
They should not be that expensive, to be clear.
No, of course not.
But it shows that it was a great idea with high demand.
Yeah.
That's why there's a secondary market.
And it adds to the slab. Like, I feel like that is one issue I have with slabs is that it kind of like dulls out the art because it's like kind of surrounded by plastic, but then boom, you get that exactly.
Those are good looking cards, baby.
Arcanines, right? Like, why am I bringing out my Arcanines? Because I love them.
Jeez, bro.
You go with the red and the blue. Yeah,
Those are
flex on them. His are way more expensive than mine, though.
These are the only 2 slabs in my collection. That's it. Just these 2.
Well, Tidal, you were showing us the slabs, and you guys mentioned Whale Lord a lot. This is a question that I have for you guys because I thought it was hilarious when I saw it on TikTok. That's a beautiful tag team card. Shout out to old Pokey Talk over on TikTok and Instagram. Tidal, this is a question for you, buddy. What Pokemon would you add to your gumbo recipe?
Ooh, that's so good. I think it's pretty simple for me though, as I feel like a lot of Pokemon would be pretty tasty, not gonna lie. But I gotta shuck up a shelf Corefish, and I gotta get it inside my gumbo. Like Corefish is going in, a bunch of Corefish tails, throw those in there. It's like a little crayfish, basically. Get it in there though.
Oh, dude,
there's a lot of honorable mentions. The Clawitzer for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who I'm going for?
Who are you going for, buddy?
I'm going for Cloth. Give me just giant hunks of crab. I know that's not a common like gumbo, but dude,
the biggest imitation crab ever.
Oh my god! No, we're going real, baby. If I bring that guy down, Lemmy. That sounds so good. And honestly, Tatsugiri goes super hard.
Yeah,
Tatsugiri.
Sushi Boy is awesome.
So you toss like just the full like Sushi Boys in there. You just boil them up. Ooh. I'm gonna say, I'm getting hungry.
Oh, you gotta cut that out. You can't make me hungry, man, because it's midnight my time. Tidal, before we sign off, dude, we have one more question for you, buddy. And that is would you rather have to give away a random card from your personal collection every time someone asks you to do a trade-up challenge, or crack a slab every time someone asks for a specific card only to walk away? And this is inspired by your most recent video, walking up to, I forget the creator that you made it with, but, oh, hey, do you have this card? Yeah, dude, absolutely. You want to buy it?
Okay, bye.
Yep.
It happens so much. Man, that's a tough one. And the problem is, personally for me, is I don't have enough slabs to crack with how many trade-up challenge offers I get brought up to my table. So I would have to go with giving away a random card. Luckily, there is umpteens amount of bulk throughout my entire
I was gonna
house.
say he's about to game the system.
And so hopefully it rolls into a bulk card. But I will say for me, like, I have tried to bring, we talked about it earlier in the episode about how there's a lot of negative in this hobby right now. And I have tried my personal best to bring some positivity back into the space. I think that's what I'd really try to do on my page. If you check me out on Instagram or YouTube, you'll see it as well, that I give away a lot of stuff to kids. I try to have really cool conversations with people that are collecting. I think just trying to bring some more positive energy to the space. I already give away a bunch of cards, so I'm probably going to have to go with leaning into giving away a random card and just hope it's not any of my tag teams or stamped cards or anything like that. I guess I can keep my 2 slabs safe at this point, but I would have to say the random card for sure. But the trade up challenge stuff is funny, man, and I don't have a total bone to pick with it. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I will say I had a recent experience where I would say it was like 4 or 5 teenagers come up to me and they said, "Hey, you're doing trade up challenges?" And they had nothing. Nope. They had nothing.
I'm like, nope, I'm not.
And I really wanted to hit them with the nope, right? But I have a giveaway binder that actually got stolen at the last show. I have a giveaway binder, crazy, right? So I have a giveaway binder. I threw it up on the table and I said, there's a bunch of Japanese EXs in the back. Pick one and do whatever you want with it. Good luck. So next day rolls around. It was a Friday night show. I had a different show the next Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon rolls around and I see those same 4 kids and they're running around the show. And I stop them and I'm like, "Do you remember that I gave you a card yesterday?" And they go, "Oh my gosh, look at where we're at now." And I'm telling you, I gave them 10 7-cent cards, probably negative 3-cent cards. in the market space, and they each had cards worth over $160.
Yeah.
And it's like the trade up challenge is such a hack for these young kids. Once again, the hustling, right? They're hustling all day long. I'm not a huge fan of it. If I see kids that show up, or I have even adults that show up that try to do trade up challenges with me, I'm telling them no. I can't do it with them. But if it's young kids, I normally won't want to trade, and I'll just throw into the pot. I'll be like, here, take this card.
That's exactly right.
Add it into your trade up challenge gumbo, if you will. And
Nice.
it's tough for me, but just try to bring positive energy to the kiddos and all that. Cause at one point we were all kids and we were collecting. And I remember the local game shop that was the game shop I used to frequent back in Reno, Nevada. And man, there was such a cool owner, and he would always hook me up. And I remember several times opening the packs there, and I wouldn't get anything. And he could probably see it on my poor little face, like, oh man, it's over.
And he hooks you up.
Yeah. I would be like, that's it. I got to go to Costco again next week for one more of these. And he would like hook me up with, either another pack or a card or, a random comment or something like that. So I think that's ultimately the thing, right? Like, we have to be the ambassadors of these hobbies for the youth. It is a kid's game, in the end. A lot of this is based around children. But I don't want to do your trade up challenge. No, I don't want to do it anymore. But it's fun.
Trade up challenge can die in a hole.
It can.
Again, trivia, giveaways, all that, all the things that make it good in the hobby. I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
Collector did the Cards for Kids initiative, which I thought was amazing. They paid for booster boxes to give out to kiddos, and I've tried to continue that initiative. Shout out Collector to just give back.
They're awesome.
They're super awesome. But I've cracked another booster box, some Japanese boxes, and to just give packs, do pack battles with kids. I mean, like the way they light up when they're, I remember asking one kid on a recent video, I was like, when was the last time you ripped a pack? And he's like,
I don't know if I ever have.
Yeah, like kind of like, I don't know. I cannot remember. And I was like, well, how about this? And I had a tin that I was just like gonna sell, and I just grabbed it off my shelf, ripped it open, popped it open, grabbed the packs, and I was like, let's rip a pack, dude. Like, let's have some fun. Like, that's what it's all about. And so, try to give back when you can, but don't give away too much to people, because they'll take advantage of you in this space for sure. But for the kiddos, there are some kids that are with
even
vendors.
some kids. Well, yeah, exactly.
I was about to
but
say,
I want to say too. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I have a video that's nearing 1 million views at this point, and it's at like 780,000, and it's a younger teenage girl. And I swear, I have seen them at every show that I've been at. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense that you would be at every single show, or if your parents are potentially vending. And she comes up to me. She's got a stack of cards. And she goes, are you buying? And I was like, yeah, I'll take a look. And I start sifting through the cards, CGC, Japanese EX, Japanese EX, trash. And at the bottom was the Journey Together Whale Lord. I love that card. I'll buy it every time it comes to my table. And so I'm like, yeah, I can take a look at this one. And so I give her the like market price at that time was like $11.40.
Yeah.
I tell her, I'm like, I buy it a percentage just because it makes sense for me. So I can, I got to get something out of it. And I was like, it's $11.43. I would buy it for $10, which is like 90% of the, the market price. And she looks at me and she goes, would you do 15? And I was like, no, I can't. And I tried not to be like rude at all. I'm like, no, I couldn't do that. And she goes, okay. And just like takes it to the next vendor. And the comments were crazy. Like, people telling me like, oh dude, you're so broke, you can't help out that little girl. Like, I would have given her $15 and the card back, and like all this crazy stuff.
This ain't a
sure
charity.
And that's
you would have.
And that's what and so I started replying to the comments because I don't care. I'm so more than willing to engage with these people on the internet. And so I started to tag my Venmo and my Cash App and send it to them. And I would say, send me $15 and I'll give it to her at the next show, because I know I'll see her. And so I'm just like sending it to every single one of them. No one ended up sending me any cash, but
yeah, exactly.
it's just funny.
Freaking
So
keyboard
that's like
warriors.
that's an example, right? That like I want to give to the kids, but then at the same time, if a kid wants to try and like utilize the innocence and like try to take advantage of me, like I have, trust me, I have a daughter here at home. Like she tries to do that every single night when it
Yeah,
comes
they're
to getting,
sneaky.
they're
Yeah.
super sneaky. She wants a
They're
cookie every
smart.
once in a while, and sometimes I give in, but when it's not my kid, it's even easier to be like, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, hell no. Well, guys, hey,
No,
you got to try to be like Tidal, man. This is a class act.
Try to get
classy
that.
dude, man. Classy dude. And shout out Get Collector. They are not. They have not had any drama around them. Them helping you track the value is not what's causing the problem. I just.
Yeah. For sure.
I keep seeing them catching shade too, and it's like, well, my portfolio, blah blah. I was like, okay, it's important to be able to track your stuff, okay, just is, but that doesn't mean that has to be what it's about.
Tidal, dude, thank you so very much for joining us on episode 26 of the Critical Hitz Podcast, buddy. Absolute pleasure to have you, my man. Do you have anything that you would like to say to the viewers? Piece of advice, welcome to 2026.
For sure. I think one thing that resonates with me a lot, Ern collects, he says this a lot, is that collectors always win. We talked about the hustlers. We talked about the guys that are in this for the money. I've been collecting for a long time, and I've always collected what I love. Collectors always win. The stuff that I liked, most of the time other people like it, and you'll reap the benefits down the line. I think honestly, just collect what you love. Like, whether it is graded stuff, whether it is singles, whether it is the cheaper cards, like find something you really like. And I know this hobby can be kind of overwhelming a little bit, especially now with there being a card show every single weekend, multiple card shows every single weekend. But just enjoy it, have fun, go to a card show, involved. I think the other biggest advice is if you've ever thought about starting a YouTube channel, a social media, and you haven't done it, I'm going to give you one piece of advice. And it was a piece of advice I got from a really good friend of mine who's now like my mentor. Pick up the camera and click record. You'll never know what you can do. I made a career out of it. Genuinely, it's my whole life now is social media. And you'll meet so many amazing people along the way. Like you genuinely will. This is a really cool space to be. You're gonna get stuff in between, just like they were talking about with even their community. There's members in the community that will say whatever they want to say. People are very strong behind a keyboard, but you just have to be able to take the punches, allow yourself to be out in the open, and just go for it. Make a page, show off your stuff. People love it. I mean, do whatever you want too. I mean, everybody's done it already, but you haven't done it. And so that was why I started the vendor POV stuff, because, there's all these guys like Jar Chomp, Bulbasaur, there's all these individuals that are doing it already, but they're not Blaine. They don't have my personality. They don't have my flavor. Yeah. They don't have my taste. And so just do it, like it's such the funny saying, but really pick up the camera, set it up and record. If I were to, unhide some of my old videos from YouTube way long ago, woo, you would see the rawness of my ability. And it's like everything. Practice makes perfect. Just do it, learn. You can do it all free. These are crazy powerful cameras nowadays. You don't need a fancy setup. You don't need the mics, the lights, all these things. You can do it all from your phone. That's how I started. And so I think that's like my biggest piece of advice for everybody listening. I do really want to say thank you guys for letting me join on here. I love garage talk, whether it be any of my hobbies, but talking about this, we are all like-minded people and we're just big nerds. I think we just love, these little fake little creatures, these pocket monsters that we've been chasing after, trying to collect since we were little kids. And so it's cool to, be open about, what you love, talk about it and be willing to put yourself out there and talk about what you love and have a passion. And that's been Pokemon for so long and it ain't going nowhere. So, I'll wait for the market to disappear again and it be fun. And sure, my collector will go down, but I won't be going anywhere anytime soon. So
hell yeah, man. Well, Tidal, if you will, please join us in signing off the podcast. My name is Pokey Scout.
I'm Gentle at Gaming.
I'm Tidal Zone.
And this
has been Critical
Hits.
Yeah, see, Scout's always like just slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a very, very lovely evening.
Thank you, y'all.
Peace.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.